Breaking news for every driver watching this video right now. If you plan to get behind the wheel in January 2026, you need to stop what you are doing and pay close attention because massive changes to driving laws across the United States are either already in effect or are about to roll out nationwide. These are not small updates or technical adjustments buried in fine print that no one enforces. These are major legal and enforcement changes that will directly affect how you drive, how much it costs you to own and operate a vehicle, and what happens if you make even a small mistake on the road. If you are not prepared, these changes could cost you thousands of dollars, and in some cases, even tens of thousands of dollars, through fines, insurance hikes, license suspensions, and long-term legal consequences. What makes this situation even more serious is that many of these laws are already being enforced quietly in certain states, while most drivers have absolutely no idea they exist. By January 2026, enforcement will expand rapidly across the country, and there will be no excuses, no warnings, and no grace periods. Whether you drive every day to work, commute a few times a week, enjoy road trips, or only drive occasionally for errands, these new rules will affect you. There is no escaping them. There is no grandfathering in. These laws apply to everyone with a valid driver's license. What I am about to explain could save you from expensive tickets, insurance increases that last for years, and serious legal trouble that can follow you for the rest of your life. This is not fear-mongering. This is real, verifiable information that can protect your finances and your freedom. Welcome back to the channel. If you are new here, this is where we break down laws, regulations, and policy changes that actually impact your daily life and your wallet. We do not waste your time with clickbait or filler. We give you clear, actionable information so you can stay informed, stay protected, and stay ahead of changes that could cost you serious money. Today, we are covering 7 major driving law changes coming in January 2026 that every American driver must understand. These are not minor tweaks. These are fundamental shifts that will change how driving works in the United States. Before we dive in, if you want to stay ahead of changes like this and avoid getting blindsided by new laws that hit your wallet hard, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Knowledge is your best defense against surprise tickets, unexpected penalties, and avoidable legal trouble. Let us begin with the first and most impactful change, the one that will catch more drivers off guard than anything else on this list. Hands-free cell phone laws are expanding dramatically in January 2026, and penalties are increasing sharply across the board. Many drivers assume this is old news and think hands-free laws have already been around for years, but that assumption is dangerous. While some states adopted these laws earlier, January 2026 marks a coordinated nationwide push to either introduce new distracted driving laws or significantly strengthen existing ones. The most important change is not just the law itself, but the penalties. In the past, many states treated distracted driving as a minor offense, with fines as low as $50 or $100 for a first violation. Starting in January 2026, first-time offenses in many states will now carry fines ranging from $200 to $500. Second offenses can reach $500 to $1,000, along with points on your license that stay on your record for years and directly impact your insurance rates. In states such as California, New York, and Washington, repeat offenders may face mandatory driver education courses that must be paid for out of pocket, community service requirements, and even temporary license suspension. Losing your license for 30, 60, or 90 days because of phone use while driving can completely disrupt your life. It can mean losing your job, missing school drop-offs, and being unable to handle basic daily responsibilities. Insurance companies are also watching closely. A distracted driving citation can raise your insurance premiums by 15 to 30% or more, and those increases often remain in effect for 3 to 5 years. Over time, that can mean thousands of dollars in additional costs. What counts as a violation under these expanded laws is broader than most drivers realize. Holding your phone in your hand while driving is illegal in most of these states, even if you are not actively using it. Checking a message at a red light, scrolling briefly in traffic, holding your phone to your ear for a call, or manually adjusting GPS directions are all violations. Even if your vehicle is stopped, if the engine is on and you are in the driver's seat holding your phone, you can be cited. The only permitted use is hands-free operation through a securely mounted device with voice commands enabled. Phones cannot be held, placed on your lap, or wedged against your shoulder. Imagine sitting at a red light during your commute. Your phone buzzes. You glance at the screen for 3 seconds. A police officer sees you. That is a ticket. No warnings, no exceptions. To protect yourself, install a quality phone mount, rely on voice commands, and pull over safely if phone use is unavoidable. The second major change involves automated enforcement, and this is an area where drivers are about to feel the impact immediately. Speed cameras and red light cameras are expanding rapidly across the United States, with hundreds and possibly thousands of new installations planned or already active. States and cities such as Illinois, Maryland, Arizona, Florida, Texas, Washington, D.C., Chicago, Baltimore, Phoenix, and many others are dramatically expanding automated enforcement networks. At the same time, tolerance thresholds are shrinking. In many areas, speed cameras previously triggered only when drivers exceeded the limit by 11 miles per hour or more. That buffer is disappearing. In some jurisdictions, cameras now trigger at 5 or 6 miles per hour over the limit. Red light cameras are also becoming stricter. Grace periods that once allowed drivers a fraction of a second after the light turned red are being reduced or eliminated. If any part of your vehicle crosses the stop line after the light turns red, even by a fraction of a second, a citation may be issued automatically. These systems do not consider context. They do not care about traffic conditions, reaction time, or near misses. They record a violation and generate a ticket. Fines range from $50 for minor speeding to $500 or more for red light violations. Repeat violations can result in escalating penalties. While many camera citations are classified as civil violations rather than moving violations, they can still affect your insurance rates and vehicle registration. Ignoring these tickets is a serious mistake. Unpaid fines can lead to late fees, collections, credit damage, and registration suspension. To protect yourself, drive the posted speed limit, approach yellow lights cautiously, and use navigation apps that alert you to enforcement zones. The third major change is one of the most serious and potentially life-altering. Several states are lowering legal blood alcohol concentration limits starting in January 2026 and dramatically increasing penalties for DUI offenses. For decades, the standard legal limit across most states has been 0.08%. That is changing. States such as Washington, Oregon, Colorado, and Hawaii are moving toward or actively implementing 0.05% limits. This is not a small adjustment. For many people, a 0.05% BAC can result from just 1 or 2 drinks, depending on body weight, metabolism, food intake, and timing. What once felt safe is no longer safe. Penalties are also increasing sharply. First-time DUI convictions can result in fines ranging from $1,000 to $2,500. Mandatory alcohol education programs, license suspension lasting months or longer, and possible jail time. Repeat offenses can lead to felony charges, long-term license revocation, ignition interlock requirements, and extended incarceration. The financial impact goes far beyond court fines. Legal fees, insurance increases, interlock device costs, lost income, and administrative fees can push the total cost of a single DUI to $15,000 to $25,000 or more. Imagine having 2 drinks with dinner, feeling fine, driving home, and registering a 0.06% BAC during a traffic stop. In a 0.05 state, that is a DUI. The safest rule is simple and absolute. If you drink anything at all, do not drive. The fourth major change affects electric vehicles and emission standards. As electric vehicle adoption increases, states are introducing new or higher registration fees to replace lost gas tax revenue. EV owners in states such as Texas, Ohio, Georgia, and Virginia can expect annual fees ranging from $100 to $200 or more, in addition to standard registration costs. Some states are also exploring mileage-based fees that charge drivers based on how many miles they travel each year. At the same time, emission standards for gas-powered vehicles are tightening. States such as California, New York, Massachusetts, Colorado, and Oregon are implementing stricter testing requirements. Older vehicles that fail emissions tests may require costly repairs before registration can be renewed. In some cities, vehicles that do not meet standards may face access restrictions or congestion fees. Drivers should budget for these costs and test emissions early if driving an older vehicle. The fifth change targets street racing and reckless driving, but it affects far more people than those who intentionally race. States such as Florida, Georgia, Nevada, and California are imposing severe penalties, including immediate vehicle impoundment, large fines, license suspension, and felony charges for repeat offenses. Reckless driving definitions are broad and can include aggressive speeding, tailgating, weaving through traffic, and sudden acceleration. Even spectators at illegal racing events may face penalties. Law enforcement is increasing surveillance, undercover operations, and enforcement in high-risk areas. Ordinary drivers can get caught up if emotions take over behind the wheel. Calm, defensive driving is no longer just smart, it is legally essential. The sixth major change affects driver license renewal requirements. Several states are increasing testing and documentation requirements, particularly for older drivers. Vision tests, written exams, road tests, and medical certifications may now be required for renewal. This means renewing your license may no longer be a quick, administrative task. Drivers should plan ahead, schedule appointments early, and gather medical documentation if needed to avoid losing driving privileges. The seventh and final change involves increases in parking fines and moving violation penalties. Cities across the country are updating outdated fine structures, resulting in higher penalties for common infractions. A minor parking violation that once cost $25 may now cost $50 or $75. A speeding ticket that once cost $100 may now cost $200 or more. Automated enforcement and digital tracking mean unpaid fines accumulate quickly and can lead to towing, boots, or suspended registration. In conclusion, January 2026 represents a major turning point for American drivers. These 7 changes affect phone use, automated enforcement, impaired driving, vehicle ownership costs, reckless driving penalties, license renewals, and everyday fines. To protect yourself, stay informed about your state's laws, adjust your driving habits now, budget for new costs, invest in helpful tools, and take these changes seriously. If this information helped you, subscribe, share it with others, and stay informed. Knowledge is power, and on the road, it can save you money, freedom, and peace of mind.